morning to you. I am Heather Brown, and if you are watching live right now, you'll notice we are 4 minutes earlier than we usually are. We are starting this CBS News Minnesota Mornings update at 7:30 now. Did you hear what I said? CBS News Minnesota. That's the new name here. Used to be the CBSN, and I know Jason talked to you all on Friday about this, but we are making this change. We're using all the resources of WCCO and CBS News to now bring you CBS News Minnesota, which is our streaming service. So we will continue to bring you this morning update every morning at 7:30. Our friend Jason is taking a well-deserved day off because today is his birthday. So happy birthday to him, and welcome to the CBS News Minnesota morning update. Let's get you right to speed on the news and the weather. Let's start with the weather, though. It is going to be another cold one today. That snow that had come in over the weekend 3 times has moved on out there, but behind it, it is bringing these cold temperatures. High today, 7 degrees. We're not going to get out of the single digits. Those side roads you're going to notice are still pretty snow covered out there. So if you are thinking about heading out onto the roads, going to work, going to school this morning, take some extra time. You're going to need to be careful. The highways have gotten better over the past several hours as we've seen lots of crews out there with the plows, but you know it, Minnesota winter. Be careful out there. Let's talk about this, though, because apparently some people are giving their sweet tooth a hall pass, especially if they've been on their best behavior. This is all because of a new poll coming, according to a new poll. Americans indulge their sweet tooth an average of 3 nights a week after eating healthy during the day. They say the effort to avoid is still there. 41% said that they wait for the cravings to kick in before they give in. 19% say they treat themselves post-dinner. I don't know about you. I'm not sure I believe this one. 3 times a week, that's it. That's all we're doing our sweet tooth. Only 20% of us are getting a sweet treat after dinner. I don't know. This is probably a self-reported poll. I mean, maybe it's just me. My sweet tooth. Chocoholic. Yeah, for sure. But we would love to know, how often are you treating yourself to a sweet treat? Does your sweet tooth win out? Is it more than 3 times a week? Or is that pretty good? Maybe you're all really, really good. You just eat healthy during the day and say, oh, I'm going to hold off. I'm really good at this. If you're watching on Facebook, leave a comment here and we'll read through a few of those in just a moment. Back to the news now. Opening statements are expected today in the federal trial of former Minneapolis police officers Tu Tao, Thomas Lane, and J. Alexander King. The 3 are accused of violating George Floyd's civil rights by failing to act when a fellow former officer knelt on his neck. Now, 12 jurors and 6 alternates were chosen last week to hear the case. They do include 10 men and 8 women. Most are white. The 3 former officers on trial have all pleaded not guilty. 7 St. Paul public schools start the week with distance learning today. Now, last week, students at Highland Park walked out of class to protest the fact that the district was still holding classes in person. This morning, their school has still not moved online. New option for COVID testing in Minnesota opens up this week. So tomorrow, the state will be able to conduct up to 1,000 tests a day at the MnDOT building in St. Paul. That's just off of John Ireland Boulevard. That site does open this morning at 10 a.m. This one will be open 7 days a week, so that's nice to have another option on the weekends. 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. and then this site will close on February 14th. A quick reminder here, because we talked about this all last week. If you're looking to get tested in downtown Minneapolis today, a lot of people go to the convention center. It had moved to U.S. Bank for the week because of the boat show. It is back at the convention center. So be sure to know that if you're thinking about getting tested in downtown Minneapolis. You can begin filing your taxes today, but like with everything, you really should expect delays. And in some cases, really big delays. An IRS worker shortage, then you have the pandemic-related changes to the tax system. Significant backlog here. We know some people are still waiting on their 2020 refunds. The agency is still processing some 2020 returns. Probably want to try and get all those finished before you start doing the 2021. So pack your patience, right? Said that a million times. By this time next week, we're going to know who will be playing in Super Bowl 56. There are 4 teams left. And I don't know about you, but those were some wild games, right? Kansas City will host Cincinnati on Sunday. So these are the ones that are left. You can see no Packers, no Buccaneers. Everything came down to the last minute. So there's that first game, kickoff at 2 p.m. Then after that, which you can watch on CCO, after that, the Rams will host San Francisco. The winners will meet in Super Bowl 56 on February 13th, and that is expected to be held in Los Angeles. Now, we are less than 2 weeks away from the Winter Olympic Games in Beijing. This afternoon, you will have the chance to send off Team USA's women's hockey team. There's a lot of Minnesotans on that team, which is very cool. They will be at the National Sports Center Super Rink in Blaine. This will be at 3:15 today, so head on up there. Give them a little cheer. That'd be super cool. The games begin on February 4th. Also a big day for NASA today as its new $10 billion telescope reaches the next phase of its mission. NASA says that its Webb telescope, it's going to reach its final destination today, which is nearly 1 million miles away from Earth. Ground teams plan to send the telescope into orbit around the sun. Now, NASA launched this telescope back on Christmas Day. The observatory will peer back to some of the earliest galaxies that formed after the Big Bang. This is pretty big, high-level stuff. It'll also look at the very structure of the universe itself. Whew. All right, more service cuts coming to American Airlines. The carrier says that it is cutting back on some of its flight meal and beverage service. This all comes after pressure from the flight attendants union to reduce potential COVID-19 exposure. So that means on those long-haul domestic flights, no second beverage cart service. And then on the international flights, the meal and beverage service, that will be adjusted as well. All of these changes will take effect on Wednesday. So maybe you've looked up to the sky recently and you've noticed a whole lot of birds. All right, you've seen these birds, these crows in the wintertime. I mean, thousands of them converging on the metro area. A lot of times you'll see them down by the river, over by the U, too. Experts at the Warner Nature Center tell us that the birds actually do this every winter to socialize and find a mate before heading back to their rural homes. That's kind of cool. Now you know. All right, back to today's talker. Let's see what you are saying here, because this is where we were talking about your sweet tooth and how I did not believe this poll. Annette, 1 piece of dark chocolate a day is good for your heart. But I cheated yesterday. I was watching the Chiefs and the Bills game, right? Stress eating, Mike. Got some gooey popcorn treat with peanut treat. Ooh, loved the game and the turnout, right? Did you not? I've hearing that a lot this morning from our good old friends here in Minnesota. Maggie says, I make myself a nice cup of tea to settle in regardless of how healthy I eat. That's a good way to do it, Maggie. Just take a little, put a little sweetener in there. It's a nice little sweet treat for you there. Bradley, I reward myself with a treat after night every day, regardless of what I eat during the day. There you go, Bradley. This is what I think actually happens here. And Sean, our director Sean, I just like to eat garbage during the day to avoid all those temptations at night. It's very smart. It's a very, very good technique, Sean. Thanks, everybody, for your feedback. And thanks for watching this morning. Thanks for coming a little bit early here. That is your CBS News Minnesota Morning Update. We are your only local streaming news service. Check it out. You can watch it on our app, on a Pluto TV. And we'll see you here tomorrow at 7:30. Thanks for watching.